Good evening, Goffstown, and how are you? This is Bob Bartolucci. I'm here with Rob Foreman, and tonight in the Grizzly Den, your Lady Grizzlies will be tipping off against the Salem Blue Devils. The Lady Grizzlies are coming off a convincing win against Manchester Central on Tuesday night. I expect this to be more of a challenge with the Blue Devils team coming in here. And Rob, what are we going to be looking for tonight from the Lady Grizzlies?
Yeah, I think what we saw last game with Ava Winterburn, she's the key to this team's offense. She scores inside, she scores outside. There were points we talked about in the last game where she gets the fire in her eyes, she's going to the basket. I think the height is our advantage. We are big inside. If we look to pound it inside, taking care of the rebounds offensively and defensively, and clearly both Coach and Ava Ruggiero said in the post-game interviews last night, it's transition. We want to get the ball and we want to run. We want to get up and down the floor.
Well, I tell you, one thing that was impressive with the Central win, and we got to take into account the competition of that game.
Sure.
One thing that was impressive was the controls under both baskets with rebounds. We just dominated under the basket, getting the rebounds, and I'll be looking for that tonight. How about you?
Yeah, I think so too. The rebounds. The other one was the turnovers. I mean, game one against BG, a formidable opponent, a top-ranking team in the state, 39 turnovers. They really controlled the turnovers in game two. This will be a little different. Salem's going to play some zone, some 2-3. It's about ball movement, taking care of the ball. So I think if we can control and keep the turnovers down, it'll be a good night for Goffstown.
Right. Yeah, and I'm also hoping too, like they did against Central, really spreading out the scoring. Obviously, Winterburn dominated and did 90% of the scoring, but it was good to see other people stepping up and contributing. So you were really getting the baskets from all over. They were hitting threes. They were also hitting up under the basket. I mean, we talked about that really the only flaw we saw in their game was really, on the foul line.
Yeah.
So
they were 10 for 19 in that last game. That's one area to clean up. And like you said, the three-pointers. They hit 8 three-pointers last game,
right.
And from several people. So I think this team's ready to shoot.
That's right. And, we're going to try to do this new format where we're going to open up a little bit ahead of time, and we're going to try to be here for the introductions. The one thing where we have to sign off for copyright laws, believe it or not, we can't play the national anthem. Believe me, it's not because we're not patriotic. But anyway, we're going to have the intros here. Both the Blue Devils and the Goffstown Grizzlies will be introduced. You might hear Al a little bit in the background because he's not on our microphone. We may be talking over him the way we are right now. The Salem Blue Devils, Rob, basically this is a fairly young team that we're looking at here. So that should be maybe another advantage or checking a box for the Grizzlies.
I agree. Yeah, they're checking very young. One senior is what we understand on the roster. Top two scorers, Ayla Reagan is averaging 10 points a game. Ella Masto is checking in at 8 points. So those are their 2 big scores, 18 points coming from them. And then on Goffstown, we talked about the trio of Winterburn, Ruggiero, and Sasso. You're looking at almost 40 points between the 3 of them. That's the key to our offense.
Yeah, so, and that's going to be the thing. And like you said, too, there is a height advantage here. They do have, the Blue Devils do have 1 6-footer, a junior, Charlotte Henchy. And most of the other players, or at least the starters, are all a little bit smaller, 5'6". Yep. There is one other one, I guess, Maddie Bealey, who's 5'10". But Goffstown does have a height advantage there. Well, especially, of course, with Winterburn. And now the starting lineup for the Lady Grizzlies. And, of course, the number 1 starter is going to be number 12, Ava Winterburn. 6'1". There's the height. Then her sister Meredith Winterburn, number 14, another guard. Another senior, and Ava Vaughn, number 21 for Goffstown. Then Maggie Sasso. I look at her as being a controlling influence on the team. We talked about this. When she's on, the team just seems to play better.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, of course, the spark plug of the team, I feel, Ava Ruggiero, 6'2" at least.
That's what they're saying.
Yes. The height advantage that she has. Yes, the growth spurt in the off season. And now we're going to take a quick break and cue out, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Good evening, Goffstown, and we're back here in the Grizzly Den, and we're about to have the opening tip-off tonight. Again, the Salem Blue Devils against your Goffstown Grizzlies. So it should be an interesting game tonight, and I'm looking for the Grizzlies to really push the pace, and that's really where I think they're going to have a big advantage with this younger team. So the Grizzlies certainly more experienced. These girls have played together for a while, so that's what will be looking to happen. And Ava Winterburn will be taking the opening tip against Charlotte Henchy. And she got the better of that.
Yeah,
and
Salem
over
controls.
to Reagan. Reagan takes a long 3 and just off the rim, but
bounds, no?
Tried to hit the rope, didn't it?
Yeah,
that should have been whistled, but Winterburn inbounds it to Sasso. Winterburn now working her way down the court. Over to Ava Vaughn. Inside to Maggie Sasso. Oh, she did a good job saving that. Winterburn over to her sister Meredith. Out to Vaughn on the point. Sasso works her way in and tried to go a little way up there.
But we talked about it earlier. If Maggie's got to look to drive, that's what we want out of her. Drive to the basket, look to dish. She's got a great shot.
Yep, and when she's on, the team just seems to play better. And Ruggiero, the little spark plug, going after her.
Looking to trap on the full court press here.
Yep. Oh. And Meredith Winterburn was not going to be denied that ball, taking it from Molly Mosto. Mosto? Is that how
Mosto, yes.
Yeah, that's how we agreed to do this. So Sasso's going to inbound this to Ruggiero. Back to Sasso. Sasso's going to...
backcourt violation.
Backcourt.
Yeah.
See? Sloppy. We can't make these mistakes.
Yeah, we talked about turnovers.
Yeah, that's a giveaway. So here we go. The Blue Devils will inbound it. This is Molly Mosto, and she has her sister Ella. So the Blue Devils have it here. Oh, tipped in the air by Vaughn. Brought down by Mosto. Over to the other Mosto.
Yeah, the sisters, the Mosto sisters.
Out to Reagan. Reagan's going to settle it down here. And she's the point guard. Over to Molly Mostow. Oh, tried to inbound it over to her sister Ella. Goes over to Charlotte. Goes out to Molly, who takes the long shot. That didn't get anything. Sasso picks it up and leads Meredith Winterburn. A
Great
beautiful
pass. Beautiful
to Ava
pass.
Ruggiero. Ruggiero had nothing but a layup there.
Yeah, exactly what we talked about. Control the rebound. Let's get in transition.
So Molly inbounds it to Maddie. Now we're back out to Charlotte, and she's going to drive it in, and there's going to be a foul, it looks like, on Meredith. I don't think it's a shooting foul, though. No.
Ava Vaughn.
21, Ava Vaughn. Okay. So over to Charlotte here. Back up front to Ayla Reagan. Ooh. Lost ball, and that's
Ruggiero.
just Ruggiero with her tenacity. Sasso
Great
goes up
spin move.
underneath, and Vaughn's right there to clean it up, and she gets her own rebound.
Missed
Oh,
them both.
yep. 2 tries at it, but you gotta like the hustle there.
Yeah, Ruggiero on the floor going after that loose ball.
So you got Reagan, got it. She's gonna take that other long 3, and she hits that one. That's the 3rd time she took that shot.
Yeah.
She finally hit it. It was a good 3. Sasso's working it down the court now for the Grizzlies. Over to Vaughn. Vaughn gonna spread it out, give Ava a long 3, and Charlotte comes down with the ball. Henchy for the Blue Devils. She's working it down the court. Over to Mostow. Mostow to Mostow. Winterburn comes down with this rebound.
Oh, good look.
Ooh, a little bit ahead of Ruggiero. Ava takes a long 3 just off the rim.
Salem doing a real nice job boxing out underneath.
Yeah, and unlike the last game, Salem's doing they're pretty even with the rebounds here. They're getting their share of the rebounds. So
it's a well-coached team. They're with great ball movement on offense. They're boxing out on defense. So
not just well coached, but the best dressed coach in the league by far.
Yes.
Here we got Maggie Sasso trying to go on the inside, and
got a foul on Salem.
Foul on Salem. I think it's going to be on 15 or 11. 11. It's going to be on 11, and that's Maddie Bealey. So Ava Ruggiero is going to inbound this, and I don't know. It looks a little sloppy.
It does
tonight. So I don't know if they're trying to go too fast or they just got to settle in, kind of get into a rhythm.
Yep. Foul on Caroline Case, who just checked into the game for Salem, along with Lily George. It'll send Sasso to the line for 2 shots. Yeah, I think you're right. They look like they're just kind of forcing it, trying to make something happen instead of taking what Salem's given them.
Right. And I always said that. I mean, the key really is on offense, you get the ball, you slow it down.
Yeah.
You try to do controlled things. On defense, you got to play with kind of fast chaos. But that's Salem coming in. Oh, she just took a nice little jumper there.
Ayla Reagan.
Ayla Reagan, yep.
She's got a good little shot.
So it's 7-3, the Blue Devils. And Ava's going to take a 3. Ava Ruggiero off the rim. Ava Winterburn did a good job of getting that rebound down to her sister. It's out to Maggie Sasso, takes a 3. Winterburn again under the basket. Now Ruggiero. They waved off that shot, though.
Got a foul.
Is it going to be on Ruggiero?
No. 15
15,
blue.
Charlotte Henson.
Yep.
Okay, so Goffstown's going to get the inbound this. It's just amazing when you see all these people in there. They're all tall. You see Ruggiero come down with the ball.
Yeah.
She often does that.
And Goffstown's getting some good looks. Things aren't falling. They're hitting offensive rebounds. So
Ruggiero inbounds it to Sasso, out to Winterburn. Winterburn slowing it down. That's what they need to do. And Vaughn's going to inbound it for Maggie. Again, trying that
good
layup
fight by
thing.
Winterburn.
Winterburn again getting these rebounds under the basket. Now her sister Meredith got it. Out to Sasso again for a 3 that's
Just not
in and
falling.
out. And Winterburn under the basket again. Winterburn again picked it up. So Salem Blue Devils underneath. Oh, and I think Ava's going to get a foul on this. Yep, Ava Winterburn's getting a little foul on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't count that last time, but there was 4 or 5 shots we got on offense.
Because we're grabbing those
We're
rebounds.
getting those rebounds, yeah.
Yep. So for the Blue Devils, Ayla Reagan takes the first shot. Just a little off the rim. 7-5 is the score. The Blue Devils ahead. Charlotte Henchy came out now. She seems to be the Blue Devils, one of their better players.
Yes. And come the Grizzlies looking to push the ball up the floor. Ruggiero out to Ava Winterburn, slashing to the basket. Followed her own shot. And Salem comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, Salem put Vienna Motes out there. She's a little more size and height. I think to help counteract Winterburn under the basket.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice long three by number 14. That's Caroline Case. You know, Munn set her up, cross-court pass, and Coach Largy's going to call a timeout in this. And I think you're right. It's a little bit hectic. I don't know if we're trying to do a little too much or play too fast.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in that last game, not a strong opponent like Salem, things came very easy. We're having to work a little bit harder. Shots aren't falling that we did hit the other night, but they're aggressive. They're going after the loose balls, the rebounds. So when those shots start to fall, I think they'll feel a little more confident.
Right. Now, and the thing is that, you know, Goffstown's got to take it a little slower because when they do make a mistake, Salem's a little bit better at being able to capitalize on it.
Absolutely.
We were commenting in the Central game, there was really only one person that was the main offense for Central. They had one person that you really worried about, and her name escapes me for right now. So Ava Ruggiero out to Winterburn from the long three, and she hits it, and that brings Goffstown right up into this game again, 10-8.
You know, about 5 minutes into the game, and that's Ava's first basket. So
No, it's her second. She hit it two.
No, her sister hit the first one.
Meredith she got her own rebound at one time.
Okay,
and hit a basket
we'll
for
double
sure.
check that.
Yep. So Reagan takes a long three, and again, Ruggiero comes down with the rebound. Meredith Winterburn.
Over to Penny, who just checked into the game.
Annis. Oh, Penny almost had a layup there. Yep. Okay. So you got Lillian George working it down to Caroline Case. Over to Munns. And most. Reagan takes a shot.
And Ruggiero with another rebound.
Ruggiero.
Yeah.
Ruggiero. Over to Winterburn. Ava goes
Good
right
drive.
in. Another two for Ava.
Yes.
So 10-10. That brings the score up to tie here.
Goffstown back in the half-court trap here.
Reagan working it down the court around Ruggiero. Ruggiero staying on her, though, keeping her to the outside. Ooh, stay with her. Okay. And a long three, and Ruggiero again gets the rebound. That was a good.
Yeah, immediately looks to run. Gets a foul.
Oh, she draws the foul.
Yeah.
Almost got the basket, too.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. So Ruggiero's going to go to the line now.
Caroline Case picks up her second foul. Sends Ruggiero to the line for 2 shots.
Ruggiero's pretty winded, but she's also
she's
doing
all
a lot
over
of
the
running.
place, isn't she?
And it looks like Caroline Foreman and
Morgan Dodge.
Morgan Dodge are coming into the game. And Charlotte Henchy checks back in for the Blue Devils. And Foreman's back in. It looks like Dodge is going to come in probably for Ruggiero.
Yeah.
Ruggiero looks exhausted, but she sunk that neck of basket, and here comes
She's
Morgan
really
Dodge.
giving it all she's got, both ends of the floor.
No, that's the thing with the spark plugs. Got to keep
That's
it going.
right. That's right. The Energizer Bunny.
That's right. So Goffstown's pressing a little bit. Ooh. Out to Henchy. Over to Munns. Munns is coming in for the layup. Oh, that was a good layup, but she just missed the basket. Ava Winterburn coming down. She's going to slow it down, which is exactly what she should do. I would slow it down even more, but she's going to take the shot and just missed. Charlotte got it. Back out to Valerie Munns. Munns works it in again for that layup, and again just missed. Oh. She's a good little shooter, though.
She really is, yeah.
It looks like a foul on Dodge. So that'll put the Blue Devils on the line.
I think he called it on the floor here.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means Lillian George is going to inbound this for the Blue Devils. Over to Reagan. To George. George is looking around. Reagan takes a shot from the three-pointer, just missed. Goes inside from. Ooh. Ava. Oh. Morgan just didn't see the pass coming.
Yeah. Luckily, Goffstown. Oh no, they called. He's giving it to Goffstown. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Looks like it just went off.
Yeah.
Ava all the way.
13 seconds to see if Goffstown can get a good shot here.
So Sasso's working it in. And driving in. Now it's out to the three-pointer for Morgan Dodge. And underneath, Winterburn out to Sasso for a three. And just off the rim.
Yeah.
So again, they're getting a lot of the shots, but they're not all going in like they were against Central. But it's still, Goffstown Grizzlies are ahead 12-10.
12-10, yeah. Lots of great shots. Just not falling from the perimeter yet. Those are going to come.
Right.
But the hustle, the extra shots, rebounds, offensive putbacks, turnovers, if they keep control of those loose balls, they'll be fine.
Right. I think so far this game seems to be pretty even with, I think, a lot of the rebounds.
Yeah.
Goffstown might have a slight edge on that. But that's a lot to Ruggiero and Winterburn coming down with the majority of them. But Salem, unlike Central, being a bigger team, they're getting their share of the rebounds too. So Goffstown's just got to make sure that they stay with it and capitalize on it.
And I think Salem's comfortable running their offense through Ayla Reagan. She's got a nice little shot, hit a three early. I think they're going to have to look on ways to stop her or let her drive to the basket, look for some doubles. She looks pretty comfortable shooting from the outside.
Yeah. And I'd also like to see the Grizzlies, again, slow it down in the offensive zone. I think they're trying to rush some of the shots.
Yep.
Maybe some of the shot selection isn't what it quite could be or should be. I like the fact that they're shooting.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
But, come in offensively, take your time, set something up, run your plays, and not try to rush it. You could tell this is a fast-paced game because girls on both teams are kind of breathing fast and heavy, and they're winded because they're doing a lot of running up and down the court. And here's Valerie Munns working it in over to Reagan, and back over to George. George inside to Charlotte Hensey underneath, who just missed one off the rim. And Sasso came down with the rebound to Winterburn. Ava Winterburn over to Sasso. Sasso tries to work it around to Dodge. And Dodge was going to go in for the layup, but it was hit out of her hand. And now you got Munns working her way down. And
great block by Winterburn. She was really sizing that up.
And they're calling a foul?
No, they called it out of bounds. She swatted. Check this replay here. She was really sizing it up.
Or was
Ava.
it Penny? Oh, yeah, it was Ava all the way. Okay. I saw Penny over there, too. So Munns has the ball, works it underneath to Charlotte, and all over her was Morgan Dodge. Ava Winterburn now comes up with the ball, working it past midcourt, over to Maggie Sasso. Sasso works it inside, puts one up, again off the rim. She's getting a lot of shots, but I think she's getting a little frustrated. They're not going in for her.
Yep.
But I appreciate her. Just keep shooting. Stick with it, Maggie. You'll get them. You always do. Vaughn and Ruggiero are coming back into the game, and Sasso and Penny Annis are checking out. So you got Munns working it back down the court for the Blue Devils. And she's over to Charlotte. And can't see Ruggiero's over there
got it in
causing
the
trouble.
corner, yeah.
Yep.
That'll be a fun matchup to see Ruggiero on Reagan.
Yep. And here you got, who's that too? Reagan over to Charlotte. Henchy. Oh, nice rebound by Vienna Monez. Got Ruggiero working it up now. Over the half court for Ava Winterburn. Winterburn's going to take a shot.
Good shot.
Nice little jumper. So hits 2. 14-12, your Grizzlies. Reagan again, slowing it down. She is definitely the floor general. So this quarter is starting off a little slower there, Rob.
Yeah.
And actually, I like this pace for the Grizzlies. I think they'll
too.
do all right for them. Oh, Winterburn a little roughed up, but she comes away with the ball.
And here comes that fire in her eyes I've talked about, where she looks like she's getting down the floor to the basket.
Ooh, they're all over Ruggiero in the corner.
Trapped him in the car. Grizzlies lucked out there.
Yeah, it went off Salem. So Salem's making some wholesale changes.
The Grizzlies send Meredith Winterburn back in for Morgan Dodge.
Okay, so we got Ava Ruggiero, Ava Winterburn, Ava Vaughn, Meredith Winterburn, who just took a 3 just off the thing.
And Ruggiero comes down with
the rebound, and they're calling a jump ball on that, and it's going to be Goffstown's ball. So Ruggiero's going to inbound this. Ruggiero's looking around, over to Meredith. Meredith's going to slow it down, over to Vaughn, over to Ava Winterburn. Ava,
Great
nice
shot,
little jumper again. That's her range
that
right
10,
in there.
That 10-foot, it's really sweet.
Yep, I mean, she doesn't miss very many from there. And Meredith comes down with the rebound off Ella Mosto. Meredith is working it in, over to her sister Ava, back to Meredith, inside to Vaughn. And looks like they're calling a blocking foul on Ella Mosto. And Maggie Sasso checks back in. I'd like to see Maggie sink a couple now.
Yeah.
Be good for her confidence.
I agree.
Ava tried to get it over to her.
She really did. I heard Coach Largy say, don't force it, don't force it. Ava was definitely looking for Maggie on that one.
Right, yeah, they're trying to get her to the basket. So.
I'd like to see a couple handoff plays with Ava Winterburn and Maggie and screen and rolls. That's a great pass.
Oh, Ruggiero.
Yes.
Meredith made a beautiful pass inside to Ava Ruggiero. Ruggiero put up a nice little layup. So that's really good. So Wesley Marnelli, and then
a lot of contact.
Yep. Alamasto ran in.
Here we go, looking to run again.
Ooh. Ruggiero goes down in a heap, but still gets the ball over to Ava Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn's going to slow it down. Over to Sasso. Sasso.
Good, great
Oh,
move.
Maggie, she went underneath and just put that up. That was a nice
When
layup.
she's in the open floor with that defender on her, and she's got a great crossover dribble, a little spin move to put it in.
That was nice, yep. And that was, she needed it, and
Yes.
that was a good little confidence booster for her, so that's good. Ooh, Ruggiero again comes down with the rebound, surrounded by Blue Devils. She does it.
I don't either.
She hit that one away from Charlotte Henchy. Charlotte shows some frustration. They're coming up hard behind Ava Winterburn. Ava over to her sister Meredith. Meredith out on the wing. She moves it up to the center. Ooh, she's going to take a 3. Hit down by Charlotte, but right back to Meredith. The Blue Devils hit it away from them. Now Bealey comes out with it. Over to Munns. Munns over to Merlini, and then
Ruggiero got caught reaching in there.
That's her second.
That's
her
her
first.
Yeah, that's
okay.
her first.
That's good. That was a good foul we'll
Yeah.
take. So, Alama Styles going to the line. Looks like Caroline's going to check back in. And who else?
Penny's over there as well.
Penny.
Penny, yes.
So the two Avas, Winterburn and Ruggiero, come out.
Salem sends back in Ayla Reagan.
So clearly we're sending in a little bit more size here.
Yes.
Well, Winterburn's the biggest size, but taking out Ava Ruggiero.
Double dribble.
Double dribble.
Yeah.
Double dribble on Salem. Presley Marnelli. So Meredith's going to inbound this one over to Maggie Sassow. Why do I keep doing that?
Wow.
I don't know what's
Is that
going on.
French or is
I don't
that-
know. I'm losing my mind. I'm old. These things happen. It's only Maggie Sasso.
Yeah. The Salem's, really playing good defense, stopping the penetration. We've got to get a couple of those jumpers to fall.
Blue Devils are working it around. And again, they're setting it up. At
great
and
pass.
that's what they were working it to get Ella under the basket to be able to put it up. They were moving the ball fast. So it looks like they called Penny here on this. Penny Annis, her first foul. So that'll put Ella Mostow on the line for the Blue Devils. Score is 20-14, the Grizzlies. Maggie's got the ball. She's working it up over center court, over to Meredith. Meredith Winterburn.
That's a great
inside
dish.
to Sasso.
Yep. I'd like to see more of that, Bob, where they drive to the basket. There's an open lane and look to low post or kick it back out.
Yep, that's. Oh, travel. So travel on Molly Mostow. So that'll turn the ball over. Ava checks back in for her sister Meredith Winterburn. So Ava's going to inbound this to Maggie Sassow.
Looks like Salem's going to some sort of zone, matchup zone. Great pass.
Well, it didn't work so good because he had Penny wide open under the basket.
Yeah.
So 24-14, the lead is of 10 for the Grizzlies. Mostow to Ragan, back to Mostow. Blocked down by Penny, but they're going to call her for a foul. It's too bad. It was a good play.
Yeah.
So that'll put Ella on the line.
Good
She's
move.
hit a few baskets.
Yeah, she has. And it was good on that replay. Good movement by Salem. I like the way they move the ball around the perimeter and they look for the cutter. Clearly on that last one, they found the cutter. She gets fouled. They get 2 shots.
Oh, just off the back rim for the first one. Checking into the game is Lillian George. She went in for Murnelli. So now Ella will take her second shot. And that one goes in. So Winterburn, Ava's going to inbound this to Maggie. Out to Foreman. Back to Maggie. Maggie's going to drive in right over to Penny Annis. Was just sitting there waiting for that pass, and that was a beautiful pass by Maggie. A bounce pass, and Penny did what she does, and
That's right.
putting it right in. Long three tried by Ella, who missed. Out to Ava Winterburn. Ava looks like she's taking this all the way in, fakes a shot, just misses on that. Caroline Case works it out into Reagan down deep. Out the Case again. Oh, blocked by Ava
shot.
Winterburn. She's everywhere. And Foreman comes down with this rebound and over to Sassow.
We're just about a minute left in the half here.
Maggie's working it in. Over to Winterburn. Winterburn slowing it down, which she should. Underneath. Oh, they tried to go back to Penny again, but this time she was covered.
Yeah, if you watch when their Maggie drove last time, Ava this time, they're double teaming the driver, which is leaving that backside block wide open. So if they continue to do that, they're going to get some easy buckets.
So Ruggiero's going to inbound this for the Grizzlies over to Ava Vaughn, who takes a three.
Oh,
That was
out.
in and out. That
Yeah.
should have been in. That's too bad.
Halfway down.
Yep. Here's Caroline Case working it out. Over to Lillian George. Back to Ella Mostow. Back to Case to Reagan. Reagan up on the point. Inbounded back over to Reagan and blocked by Ava Winterburn, but it went off Ava. So Salem's going to inbound this. Lillian George. Looks like she's got Case open. Ooh. Tried to get the ball to Beeley, and Beeley just almost killed herself trying to keep that in. Oh. And Lillian George went in for a layup, but she was,
there was a lot of
she was pretty
contact
covered.
there.
Yeah.
Salem's going to take a 30 here, draw up a play, I'm sure, and it's 23 seconds before halftime.
So 26-15 Grizzlies. So leads 11. This is the biggest lead that anybody's had, obviously.
Yep.
So it looks like some of those shots are starting to sink now for the Grizzlies.
They are, and the ones that we're getting are those ones where we're driving and attacking and finding an open teammate on the block. We're still kicking it out and getting some wide open jump shots. They're just not falling yet. Those are going to fall, I know. I just hope they keep up the pressure and the intensity.
Right, yeah. So, again, they're doing good, but both teams are playing really pretty well tonight. And it seems to be a lot of back and forth. And unfortunately, not knowing the Salem roster that well, it's a little hard calling all
You're
those.
doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, you were here an hour ahead of time. You couldn't prepare?
Yeah, I spent most of that hour trying to get my hands on the roster.
Yeah. Apparently, the copy machine is tight, secure.
Yeah,
here.
it's very secure. Apparently, there's only one in the entire building. It's on the opposite side of the whole school. No one else seems to have one.
So we're under 10 here.
Mostow underneath, and
Good
she just
shot.
brought it in and sunk a nice layup. Ava Winterburn to Ava Ruggiero. Ruggiero takes a long three, and that's Cone's choice. So we're halftime, 26-17, the Grizzlies, and as we were just saying, I mean they're playing pretty well. They're sticking with it, and that's what we have to keep doing is getting the rebounds and playing with pace.
That's right, and it's balanced scoring. There's five Grizzlies have scored at least 2 baskets or more, so that's a good thing. I think they did figure a way out to stop Reagan a little bit, which was good. She didn't score in the second quarter, so we'll see what kind of intensity or changes are made at halftime by both coaches.
That's true. All right, we're going to sign out, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
watching Grizzly basketball.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, and we're here in the Goffstown High School gym watching your Lady Grizzlies compete against the Salem Blue Devils. Third quarter is about to begin, and so far we've seen a pretty up and down game in the very beginning, but I think the Grizzlies are starting to take over a little bit. What do you think there, Rob?
Yeah, I think we talked about in the pregame the size advantage, the rebounding. And I think you're right. That second quarter, Goffstown figured out we can drive to the basket. We're going to get double teamed, but we're going to find an open player underneath. So it was, we outscored them 14-6 in that second quarter. Ava Winterburn leading all scores with 11. And I think, she's going to get her 20 plus. And
right.
We're going to see what kind of adjustment Salem makes, I think.
Right. And I think one of the big keys in the second quarter, too, is the Grizzlies really slowed it down offensively.
They did.
We both were commenting, I think, in the first quarter, like they were a little too hyped up.
Yeah.
Almost a little too much energy. And maybe they slowed it down because they had to, because they were running up and down the court.
They were
pretty exhausted.
They were winded.
Both teams. So Ella Mostow over to Reagan for the Blue Devils. And underneath to Ella, over to Lillian George, who sunk. Did she sink a three? No, went off the net.
No, yeah.
Ooh, Ava Winterburn.
Got a foul.
So she draws a foul. A little bit dramatic, I'm bringing it down. Come on, Ava.
Foul on Maddie Bealey. That's her second. Yeah, I think she thought it was a flagrant foul, I think.
Yeah,
jumped up like.
She was looking for a tee. So Meredith inbounded to Ava Ruggiero. Ruggiero's working it down the court, goes to the far side, over to Vaughn, over to Winterburn on the point. She works it in,
Good
over to
kick out.
wide open Vaughn. That was a beautiful kick out, was right. Meredith gets the rebound, and the Blue Devils kind of come up with it.
Silly foul.
Yeah. Who was that, Ava?
That's Ava. It'll be her second.
Ava Winterburn draws her second foul.
Yeah, that last possession, though, was really nice. Ava Winterburn got to the basket. They collapsed on her. She kicked it to Ava Vaughn. Again, that's that little shot that's got to fall, but the Grizzlies are moving the ball well.
So Ella's going to inbound this. Over to Lily and George. George is looking. Oh, he tries to go over Ava Winterburn. You're not going to throw it over Ava Winterburn.
That's a big wall.
Yeah, and she blocked it. Over to Reagan. Reagan works it around to Beely. Beely inside for Charlotte Henchy, and Charlotte she's not getting him to drop for her.
No.
But she steals the ball from Ruggiero. Now she's working it in top to Ella. Ella over to Beely. Beely back out to Charlotte. Back inside to Lillian George. Lillian George works it over to Ella Mostow into Charlotte Henchy.
Good kick
Kicks it out to Reagan, who takes a long three off the back rim. But Ella comes down with it at center court, works it in, and
kick ball.
So it did go off a foot. It went off Goffstown. So Lillian George is going to work this back in for the Blue Devils. And the Blue Devils kick it out to Charlotte. Charlotte Henchy works it around. Over to Lillian George. Back into Henchy, and right there
jump ball
was Maggie.
Yeah, that was good defense, yeah.
And she grabbed nothing but the ball there, so that was good.
Salem's putting a little pressure on Ruggiero here, so I'd like to see, Maggie's going to have to handle the ball as well.
So Maggie comes out. Oh, Meredith, I have to call Meredith's name. Meredith was looking the other way. Over to Ava. Ava's got it. Works in right underneath the basket.
Called a foul.
So that'll put Ava on the line.
Fouls on Maddie Beely. That's her third foul.
Yeah, and Beely's been playing really well for Salem. Pretty aggressive, but I think the coach might have to look at taking her out. So Ava sinks the first one. Leads back to 10 for Goffstown. And Ava brings it to 11. So Beely inbounds it to Reagan. Reagan's coming over. Passes it out, kicks it out to Ella Mostow, who brings it in. Back to Beely. Over to Reagan. Reagan's going to circle it around over to Lillian George. George is going to come in, try the layup, but she was blocked, hit down by Ruggiero.
Tipped, yeah.
So it went off Ruggiero. So now you got Beely's going to inbound this. Over to Charlotte. Henchy inside to Reagan. Reagan's coming around the point, looking to go inside to Ella. And really, they tried to go into Charlotte underneath, but you have Maggie Sassow and Ava Ruggiero right there.
Good pass by Ruggiero.
Wide open, and Maggie sinks a nice layup. That was nice.
That was very nice.
So now, just when I get comfortable with the Salem players, you're switching them up.
We're going to get some subs.
So we're going to get some subs in. Valerie Munns and Vienna Montz. So Beely has the ball.
She gets pushed.
She looks like she drew a foul. And that was Meredith.
Yeah, her first.
So that'll put Beely on the line for Salem. 30-17 your Grizzlies. And Beely will take her first one. And just a little off the back rim. So Lillian George comes out. Valerie Munns is in. It looks like they're going to pull Beely out right after this shot. And she sunk the second one.
Comes a little pressure again.
Ava Winterburn's coming in, and she wasn't going to be denied. She just went
dribbles right through them.
End to end, and well, they were like pylons. They didn't really move or try to get in her way at all. So you got Valerie Munns with the ball, out to Reagan. She kicks it out to Reagan, into Ella Mostow, but Ava Winterburn's right there. Ella kept it in. Ella's looking. Look at the Grizzlies are really all over her.
They are.
Oh, now, just as I said.
Another block by Winterburn.
Yep. So now they're starting to frustrate Salem a little bit.
Yeah, and I just heard Coach yell, White, we got to go after the rebound. They're swarming on defense, but it's not looking like they're jumping to get those rebounds. Knocked out by Ruggiero on the side.
So Ella Massa will inbound this. And she can't inbound it to herself.
No, she didn't establish herself.
So Winterburn now has the ball. So Ava's going to inbound this over to Sassow. Over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero's looking. Over to Maggie. Maggie's working up underneath.
Good take.
So Reagan gets the ball for the Blue Devils. Works it down. She's surveying the court. She's had a shot
Look
there.
inside, yeah.
Yeah, looked inside to Ella. Ella's gets a good basket and draws a foul, so she'll have a chance to make this a three-point play.
Fouls on Ava Vaughn. Her second. Looks like Penny is going to check in for Ava.
Yeah, so Penny Annis checks in for Ava Vaughn. Oh, Ruggiero came down with that, but that was luck.
Good crossover behind the back.
And she draws the foul
Yeah.
now. So good for Ava Ruggiero.
It was a good
That's all
basketball
hustle.
move. Yeah, it was.
It's all hustle. And I don't know, she might be, is she bleeding? Nope. She went down in the heat.
She gets banged up.
So Ruggiero will go to the line. Grizzlies up by 12 now. So Ruggiero will take her second shot. And she sunk that one. So Henchey inbounds it over to Reagan. Reagan works it down the court. She's looking for Ella inside, but kicks it out to Charlotte. Over to Muniz.
Blocked by Meredith Winterburn. Ruggiero looks down the floor to Ava. Great pass.
To Ava Winterburn. Oh,
Yeah.
Ava almost put that in.
Yeah.
Munns has the ball. She's working it down over to Reagan. Reagan's going to take a three. Oh, that looked good from our angle. But
Great rebound by Penny.
Yep. Penny Annis got it. Ooh. Ran right into Charlotte. Charlotte hit her like a linebacker.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. She's all right.
Charlotte Henchey, that's her second foul. Grizzlies will retain the ball, side out.
So Ruggiero inbounds it to Meredith Winterburn. Caroline Foreman's coming back into the game. Ooh, Meredith just kind of caught the ball up to Charlotte, but she couldn't hang on to it. And ooh, Penny takes a long three, and that was another one that should have went in. Ava Ruggiero went down in a heap. Reagan's got the ball. She's taking a three off the rim.
Good rebound by Penny. Outlets to Ava, and here comes Ava looking down to her sister, Meredith. Great dish.
Yep,
Great dish.
That was perfect. That was good. Once they get into that rhythm.
Yep.
So now the Grizzlies are up by 15. This is the biggest lead, I think, of the night.
Here we go again. Ava's going to lead the pack. A great pass to Ruggiero.
And Ruggiero sets another two. And this is good. So Salem's going to call a timeout. And they had to.
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, it's exactly Ava Ruggiero the other night in the post-game interview talked about, Coach wants us to push the ball. He wants those transition baskets. And you could see on the last two possessions, the ball's in the middle of the floor. You had people fill in the lanes. Defense collapse on the ball, and she can make an easy dish to the trailer.
Yep. Now, once they start playing in that rhythm, and you got all three,
absolutely,
just lined up. So, yep, that was good. They played with pace, and now the lead is up to 17. So it's the biggest lead of the night.
Yep.
And the Grizzlies are really looking to be in control, I think, now of this game. But again, the Salem team's a good team, so you can't let up on them. That's for sure.
No, and I got to think they're going to find a way to get Reagan a couple shots. She's been quiet for a while. She hasn't scored since the first quarter.
Right.
She's looking to dish the ball, looking to move the ball, but I got to think she's going to look for a shot here.
Right. So, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to work in some of their subs, I think. So we're going to see probably more of the likes of Dodge and Penny's out there. So we got Ava Ruggiero. Got Morgan Dodge. Ava Winterburn. And Penny Annis.
Nunez is going to bring the ball up for Salem. Goffstown remains in the man-to-man defense. Swing over to Reagan, back to Nunez. Over to Mostow. Look, a little reach in by number 4, Morgan Dodge. Yeah, her second.
We got Molly Mostow throwing this in. She's inbounding to Nunez. Nunez out to Charlotte. Charlotte back out to Reagan. Looks like Salem slowing it down, trying to set something up. Grizzlies are doing good, keeping them to the outside.
We got a mismatch there. Morgan was on one of their post players.
Yeah. And the size difference was about 1.5 feet.
Yes. A couple pounds.
Yeah. Maybe 60.
Yes. So Ava Vaughn checks back in for Morgan.
Well, again, the Grizzlies are stacked pretty deep underneath the basket.
That's got to be 4 or 5 blocks for Winterburn.
Right. Reagan tried to go in on her and tried to lay it up.
Yep.
Wasn't going to happen. So Charlotte here is on the outside. She's trying to go in. She was behind the basket, hit the backboard.
Vaughn comes up with a loose ball. Here we're off to the races again.
2-on-1 over to Winterburn, a little bit ahead of her, but she still came back and got it. And look at Ruggiero come flying in.
Yeah, she did come flying in.
Spider Woman. So
if there are hustle points we keep track of, Ruggiero's going to lead the league in hustle points. Bob's always got to remind the visiting team where they check in to come into the game. It's not at the broadcast table.
Right, because they won't see you. So Charlotte has the ball. She's looking around. She looks over Reagan. Reagan's underneath, but she's got a wall of Grizzlies there.
Yeah,
so
great box out by Penny.
Yeah.
And here we go, Ruggiero.
Definitely tightened up defensively. Oh, my God, what a shot. That was an amazing shot by Ruggiero.
I mean, she had Charlotte on her. She's given up some inches, and she just weaseled it in there, and a great bank shot.
You know what that just did for Ava? That earned her the interview tonight.
Again?
We're gonna.
All right.
We got to do Ruggiero now. I mean, that one shot alone is it's worthy. So Ruggiero again underneath. So here it is out to the Blue Devils, Nunez, but again the Grizzlies are stacked deep, and you could tell that the Blue Devils just can't get any penetration into the basket.
Winterburn to Ava Vaughn,
who's got an easy layup, and she just worked it down.
And we're under 30 seconds here in the third.
Reagan inbounds it to Nunez. Nunez is coming in, but again, looking at a wall of Grizzlies. Ava Winterburn grabs the ball, and she looks like she's determined to take this herself.
Oh, great dish.
But she did. Over to Ruggiero, but it went off her.
A loose ball here. Timeout by Coach.
And he's going to take the full timeout. And he had to call it so he wouldn't get a travel, but, the girls are working for it now.
So you see on that last replay, Ava Vaughn just laid out, got the ball. Coach calls a timeout. So I think we're about 6 seconds left in the quarter. So he's going to draw up a play, see what we can get here. We're up 21. What do you think?
Well, I like the pace that they're playing with. Offensively, they're playing the way they were against Central now. They're spreading the ball out. They're getting that open winger kind of going down the court. Underneath defensively, it's just a wall now. They're just the Blue Devils really can't get any penetration under the basket. They're forced to take really bad shots. Some of the shots they're trying to post up and take shots. You got people like Winterburn and stuff, and Penny.
Yeah, exactly.
And
those are
hitting
two
those
big
down.
post players.
Yeah. So that's basically what they're doing is they're taking advantage of their size. And we talked a little bit about earlier in the game that the other thing they take advantage of is this Blue Devil team is a young team.
They are.
Where we're sort of the veteran and experienced team now. You know, where a couple of years ago we were the rookie team sort of. But now these are veteran players, and I think this is where it shows.
Absolutely.
This is where the difference comes in. Grizzlies kept their composure early in the game, and now they're working their way out.
Yep.
So now 6.8 seconds left. Vaughn's going to inbound this. And we'll see what kind of play they set up. Obviously, the Winterburn to take the shot off the rim. Sassow comes down with it. Blue Devils all over her, and that's going to do it in the third quarter.
It was a good play, good design play to get Ava a shot.
They did get Ava a shot.
It just didn't fall.
Right.
But good execution on an out-of-bounds play.
Yep, that worked out well. So the Grizzlies are up by 21.
Yeah, like you said before, the defense really tightened up. Salem gets 3 points that quarter. 1 basket, 1 free throw, 3 points. They just controlled the paint and made it tough for Salem to move the ball and get good shots. So kudos to the defense.
Yep. They were doing a good job, too, under the basket, collecting all the rebounds. Good hustle. And so now what are you looking for with the fourth quarter? What do you want to see happen here with the Grizzlies?
Well, I'd like to see him come out. I'm sure we're going to see some of the bench get into the game again. And I hope he's mixing them up with some of the veterans so we can get some continuity. These younger players get some time on the floor, moving the ball around. I think it's important to still run the offense, not to turn it over. Let's not get sloppy and push the ball when it's not there. So we'll see if they can play a controlled game here.
Okay. So it looks like starting for the Grizzlies, you're going to have Ava Winterburn, obviously. You're going to have Peyton Duff. So there's a player off the bench. You're going to have Penny Annis, Maggie Sassow, and Ava Vaughn. For the Blue Devils, you're going to have Reagan, who inbounds it to Nunez.
We got a couple new Salem players in.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to call her Elena. You can let me know how. Wow. Rosado Marshall?
That was good. Rosado Marshall.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Last foul was on Ava Winterburn.
We'll go with that pronunciation.
Yeah, it works.
Oh,
And she just got fouled twice.
so that was Duff, I believe, on the foul.
Duff.
That'll be her first.
And now Salem's in the bonus, so we're shooting one-on-one the rest of this quarter. It sounds like he's Salem coach yelling out to pick up, so we'll see a little pressure. Maybe they can get a couple quick buckets here, put some pressure on Goffstown.
Well, again, they're a young team, so, the coach doesn't want to see them quit on the game.
No.
And, obviously it's going to be a long season. It's early for them, so they want to build confidence here. Oh, again, Grizzlies are all over the ball, getting their own rebounds, and a long three by Peyton Duff just off the rim. So Nunez comes up with the ball. Over to Reagan, who goes with a three. Yeah, that was short in the basket. So Maggie's got the ball, just working it in. The Grizzlies are trying to go too fast here. They got to slow it down.
I agree.
Nunez got the ball, but they're going to call Sasso.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say before, is there's no reason to push the ball. Salem's working on a couple things. They were trying to double team the ball as Maggie brought it up. She needs to look up the floor, look for a teammate.
Yep, just slow it down when you get the ball. Nunez thinks a free throw. And Penny Annis comes out, and Meredith Winterburn is back in the game. And Nunez sunk them both. So it's 41-22. And now Maggie's coming out nice and slow. And this is what the Grizzly has to do. Just take time off the clock. Don't push or rush anything. But just as I said that, Ava takes a long three.
Sasso's in there. No jump ball.
Yeah.
Don't let him play.
Alamasa got the ball. Oh. I think
She can't get the block, she'll get the kick.
That was probably an ill-advised shot by Ava.
I think so.
You don't need to take the far ones like that.
Ruggiero's going to play Sasso.
So out to Nunez. Coming around the perimeter. Vaughn is all over her. Oh, but Ella's wide open and in and out. Yeah, the Blue Devils just aren't getting the shots.
Just not falling.
So Ava Winterburn's going to work her way in. Looks like she's taking it all the way for the easy layup. Does that give her 20 yet?
Let's check.
So Nunez has the ball. She sends it over to Marshall. Out to Mostow. Puts it up. Vaughn gets the rebound, comes down with it.
I have unofficially 17 for Winterburn.
17 for Winterburn. Meredith has the ball now. Meredith Winterburn over to her sister Ava. Ava's looking around. They got two people on her. Meredith's wide open, goes for a three.
Yeah.
Ooh, around the rim and out. Vaughn goes crashing down. She told me earlier it's her goalie instincts kicking in.
Yes.
When she's out there in the court. Ooh, a
Deep
long
shot.
three by Reagan. That was close. Another three by Ella. Again, in and out.
In and out. Oh.
Ava Winterburn has the ball. She's working her way down. She looks like she'll take it in around three. Blue Devils, sinks it in. That gives her 19. And Blue Devils are going to make a wholesale change here.
Yeah.
Nunez has the ball over to Reagan. Reagan's being held out by Ruggiero. And Reagan tried to work it in, but Ruggiero was not going to let her do it. But I think she drew a foul.
Ruggiero with her second foul. We're in the bonus. All kinds of changes coming in here.
Yep. So Foreman's back in for Duff. And
Astano checks in for the first time.
yep. Abigail Astano checks in, taking out Ava Vaughn. So you got Bealey on the line. She sinks the first one, so she'll take a second shot. Is that Bealey shooting?
So that's Reagan.
That's Reagan
Yep.
shooting, okay.
Hit them both.
Okay. So Ava to Meredith. Meredith over to Ruggiero. Ruggiero works her way down. Again, Goffstown, just slow down. There's no reason to rush these shots. That went off the Blue Devils. So Ruggiero's going to inbound this. And she inbounds it to Stano. Out to Meredith Winterburn. Over to Caroline Foreman. Caroline over to Ava. Ava's going to drive and do a layup. That gives her 21.
21, yeah.
Oh, underneath Ella Mostow.
Right there.
And they're going to give her the basket. Another foul. I think it's on Ava. Yep, Ava Ruggiero. That'll be her third.
Yeah. Ella Masto gets the basket and will get the free throw following this, the N1.
Yeah, I think Ruggiero just, she didn't feel good enough about where she was with the fouls. And she just said, you know what, I got to drive up my numbers.
That's right.
Because Ava doesn't feel like she really contributed unless she has 3 or 4 fouls.
She wants to fill all the boxes in the stat
There
sheet.
you go.
Yes.
Check everything off.
She's diving for loose balls. She's getting plenty of rebounds inside.
Yeah. And, of course, her dad likes to see the aggression.
He loves it,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
He's always giving her that little look or, get up, Ava, go.
Keep running.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He normally
front row
is front and center.
Yeah, and he is. He's,
right at
he's
midcourt,
literally at
yes.
midcourt. His legs are straddled. He's sort of man-sitting, too.
He is. And, Chris actually coached probably half these girls through the travel program here in town. So he's got a great relationship with all of them.
That's true.
Now we said something nice about him. We'll have to tell him that we, said something nice.
Well,
so
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let it get back to him. So we'll see what happens.
The girls like to watch the rebroadcast of this. So.
Well, at least somebody is. We got to drive up those numbers.
The advertising dollars are slipping.
Yes, they are. I think once they catch on, we're doing the broadcast now together.
And the pregame show.
The pregame show now. Yeah, we're gonna get things going here. So Ella's gonna take a shot off the rim. Ava Winterburn comes down with the rebound.
Wrestled that ball right out of her.
She wasn't going to be denied. Oh.
Sloppy pass.
Yeah, but Bealey comes in and grabs the ball. And now both Winterburn girls went into full attack mode.
Yeah. Timeout by their Salem coach.
30 seconds, please.
Okay. 30-second timeout for the Blue Devils. And 47-26.
Yeah.
So 21-point lead.
You know, one thing we talked about, this team can score in many different ways. They're aggressive. You know, the offensive rebounds, the jump shots, the three-pointers. The interesting thing, the other night, the three-pointer was falling. They had 8. Tonight, there's only 1. And they still managed to, you know, get up a 20-point lead. So it just shows you how tough they are to defend.
Right, and versatile, and that's
Absolutely.
important. So they got to be versatile.
Yep.
And like you said, I think we've got to be up to 8 different scorers.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
So they're spreading the ball around. Obviously, Winterburn's leading the pack by a long shot, but so the Blue Devils are going to inbound this. And you have George working it in underneath, but again, Grizzlies are all over it.
And here comes
Ruggiero's
Ruggiero to
coming
the
up.
basket.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, I don't
She
know.
was denied
Yeah.
by Reagan. Ella's coming in.
Getting plenty of fouls here in the last few.
Yeah, and Abigail Estano's doing a good job under the basket.
Yeah.
She's certainly playing with aggression over there. So,
Saying Ella Masto to the line here. Ella's had a nice game. She's got 9 points.
yeah, and she's been on the line a number of
She
times.
has.
Yeah. And just a little off on that one. So now she'll line up, take her second shot. Try to cut Grizzlies' lead down to 20. Nope, just short.
Winterburn.
So
Here she
Ava
goes.
Winterburn. She's got that look again.
Yep.
She passes out to her sister Meredith, who kicks it out to Foreman. Foreman to Ruggiero. Castano. Back to Ava Winterburn, who's driving. And the rebound picked up by Meredith Winterburn, who brings it and puts it in. Now you got Lillian George working it back out for the Blue Devils. Tries to go down around Estano, and she did get it in.
Lily George, a little floater on the baseline.
That's right. Ava Ruggiero is working it over the midcourt. Over to Foreman. Kicks it out to Meredith on the point. Back over to Estano, to Foreman, to Ruggiero. Inside to Ava. You got to like the pass.
Yeah, it was great ball
it's
movement.
just really flawless. And that's the kind of take your time at the offense.
It's going to be there. You know, be patient. Like you said, pass the ball around. It's 4 passes around the perimeter, and you get it to your superstar for an easy shot.
Right. And at the same time, you're taking time off the clock.
Absolutely.
There's no rush here. And Grizzlies are going to make wholesale changes.
Looks like everybody comes in.
Yep. We got Ava Vaughn, Maggie Sasso, Penny, Annis, Shannon O'Brien. I think that's her first appearance tonight,
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes.
Okay. And you got Morgan Dodge back in the game. So Nunez is back out for Salem, along with Carolyn Case. So changes all around. About 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it is good. You do get some of the role players out there with some of the
I like how
veterans.
he's matching it up like that.
Yep, and that's good. And again, we talked about this in the last game because we did see some of these players against Central. And it's good to work these girls in because, you know, like you said, injuries are going to happen and we're going to work them. They're going to have to be worked into the lineup.
Absolutely.
And you want everybody to get an opportunity to touch the basket.
Yeah.
Who just got that basket for us?
That was Ava Vaughn.
That was Ava Vaughn.
Here's the
That's what I
replay
thought.
right here. A little bank from about 10 feet out.
Yep. Good shot for Ava Vaughn. Vaughn to Sasso.
Sasso.
Sasso. Why do I keep going? Why do I see? Now it's in my head.
I know. Molly Mosto with the foul, her first.
That's probably where it's coming from. I got all these
I know.
Moscows coming on the other team, and I'm going Sasso. Okay, Vaughn to Sasso.
Sasso, very good, very good.
Known Maggie for years that I can't even say her name. All right, to O'Brien. O'Brien out to Vaughn. Vaughn's looking for
dump it in,
Penny on
yeah.
the inside, but she's double covered. Out to
That was a good
Shannon
shot.
O'Brien. Ooh, Vaughn comes down with the rebound. That was a nice rebound.
That was a great
Vaughn's
rebound.
curling back in. Ooh, O'Brien almost traveled. Over to Dodge.
Good take by
Dodge goes
Dodge.
in. Oh, goes to take the layup. I think we're going to call Dodge. We got a nickname for her, Rob. Dodge is going to be the kamikaze kid.
The kamikaze
Yes,
kid.
she does this constantly. I saw her play earlier. I saw her play on Tuesday too. She
Yeah.
plays. She's a swing player, so she plays for JV, and she is constantly putting herself in harm's way and going to the floor. If she were a hockey player, it's called taking the hit to make the play.
Yep.
And Dodge is not afraid to take a hit. And
Sinks them both.
she sinks both free throws, so good for her. Very aggressive on Nunez. Nunez is working it down. Works it over to Marnelli. Marshall over to Mostow. Out to Marnelli. Over to Case. Case to Nunez. Nunez tries to get it in. Again, the Grizzlies are doing a great job of keeping him outside.
Peyton Duff with that rebound there.
Dodge over to Vaughn. Vaughn works it into O'Brien off her fingertips, and she
Good
kept
save.
it in.
Yep.
Vaughn saved that one too.
A great dish.
Inside
Oh,
to Penny.
Beautiful.
And Penny sunk a few now from underneath.
Yeah, I was watching Penny on the block. She really sealed the defender off. That was a great move.
Yep. So we're
Minute left in the fourth. Salem working the ball around.
And Marshall takes a shot, and just off the rim, Nunez kept it in, but it went over to Dodge. Dodge has the ball, working it over mid-court. She looks around, over to Duff. Duff with the ball. Ooh, good play. Keep that in. Oh,
Off the leg there.
yeah, tried to go to Vaughn, but Vaughn zigged when Duff thought she was going to zag. So Vaughn's going to inbound this. Over to Dodge. Around Marshall. Penny. Ennis. Oh,
Good move.
gets her own rebound. It was a good move. She's got a few baskets tonight.
Yeah, she does. Penny's got 6 points tonight, 3 baskets.
For her, yep. 57-28 with 29 seconds left to go. Vaughn's going to inbound this for the Grizzlies. Over to Dodge, who takes a long three.
Another
Vaughn
rebound by
comes down with
Vaughn,
the
yeah.
rebound and goes down. And now Marnelli works out with the ball for the Blue Devils. She kicks it out to Case.
And Case
She takes
follows
the
her
shot,
own shot.
and she got it. So Vaughn's going to inbound this, and she's taking her time. Over to Shannon, and they're just going to kill clock
Clear
here.
the clock.
And that does it. So your final score is the Goffstown Grizzlies are 57 and your Salem Blue Devils 30. So the game that started a little slow, seemed a little hectic. I think the Grizzlies looked like they were trying to do too much. Really came together towards the end. So what did you like about tonight?
Yeah, I agree. It was tight early on. It was a 2-point game after the first. It was 12-10. I think Goffstown figured a few things out. Those outside shots weren't falling. We got to drive to the basket. We got to be aggressive, get some extra baskets and inside the paint. And then the transition. There were some great fast breaks. I mean, they really dished the ball to their teammates on the block. I was really impressed with some of those fast breaks.
Yeah, and they did a good job too on both sides of the court under the basket, really collecting a lot of the rebounds. I think earlier in the first quarter it was more or less even.
Yep.
The Blue Devils seem to be doing a good job getting rebounds too, but Goffstown really started taking over. And I think a lot of that too, I really think a lot of it is you can see this is a veteran team now starting to come together. I think to a large extent these girls are starting to get it. You brought it up in the last game Tuesday, and I thought about it as, like you said, these girls have now been playing together for a while.
Yep.
You got Ava Winterburn, who's a fourth-year starter.
Right.
Her sister Meredith and Ruggiero, and now they're starting to turn into a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I agree. And it's going to be fun to watch somebody like Penny tonight. She had a really good game.
She did.
And she's that piece to add to those core group that's been playing for a while. She's got some height, she's got some size, and she's physical in the paint. She doesn't
Right.
mind pushing some people around. So, if that takes a little pressure off Ava Winterburn at times, if you got another big, post player in there. So I think all these little pieces they're adding to this puzzle have been very successful. And, over this Christmas tournament, they're going to play 3 games down over the holidays, and I think they're going to figure a few more things out as they head into January.
Yep, and that's important. So the schedule again. When's our next game here going to be broadcast?
Our next home game will be January 6th, Manchester Memorial. So they'll go on the road to Winnicott on the 3rd. Then they'll be back here on the 6th against Memorial.
So this is the last game before a Christmas break.
Yep.
We're going to be back shortly. We're going to have a couple interviews. We'll talk to some of these young ladies and talk to them about this game and maybe a little bit about what they're doing over Christmas. Yes. But we'll see. And again, Bob Bartolucci,
Rob Foreman.
We're checking out. We will be right back. Thank you. Hello, Goffstown. Welcome back. And we just saw the Goffstown Lady Grizzlies play one heck of a game against the Salem Blue Devils. And I'm here with one of the 3 stars of the game, and this is Penny Annis. And Penny, I thought tonight that really you got a lot of minutes and you played with a lot of aggression tonight. How did you feel you did tonight? What went well?
I thought we did pretty good with our offense. We got a little rusty in the beginning, but we definitely pulled through. I thought we definitely worked together and realized that even if we're down a little bit in the beginning, that we can work together and pull out through our offense.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought throughout the game, under the basket seems to be where your strength is.
Yep.
So kind of what's your strategy, or what's sort of going through your head there as the play is developing and you're under the basket with the rebound? I mean, do you thinking the same way on the defensive side as the offensive side, or what's your train of thought?
Yeah, kind of. I really like to try to hide from defense. Like, I like to sneak around and try to get open there. I kind of like to be quiet about it, so then defense doesn't see me. But I just try to get open when people take layups and stuff like that. So just try to be there for my teammates.
Okay. As opposed to the game Tuesday night, you were definitely noticeable when you were out there. You got more minutes tonight.
I did, yes.
So Tuesday night when you were out there, you were still noticeable because you were aggressive under the basket and you were getting a lot of rebounds. But tonight I noticed that you were taking a lot of your own shots, where Tuesday I felt you dished it off a little bit more.
Yeah.
Was there a thought difference there? Or did the coach get on you about that?
I actually asked Coach Largy and Coach Bracey if they could help me out when it comes to posting up and stuff, because I'm not as strong as I think I am when it comes to taking my own shots. So I definitely want to work on that this year, and I thought today was a great way to just start the season and try to get those down low points.
Yep. No, I thought you did a good job with that. You definitely put up a lot more shots, and the key is it's never a bad play to take the shot. So that was really good. So all in all, I thought it was a good game. In the beginning, you're right. I think for the whole game, I felt that the team really seemed to have the energy. I think everybody was here to start. It almost felt like everybody was doing too much in the first quarter. Is that what you guys saw? Did the coach talk to you about that after the first quarter?
I think we got a little excited, but I think we pulled through in the end, and we kind of mellowed out by the second quarter.
So I know you guys got the Christmas tournament thing coming up next week. Mm-hmm. So you get a little bit break here from kind of the regular season. Yeah. What are your plans for Christmas? Everybody wants to know.
Well, I think I'm going to go skiing.
There you go.
If it's not raining, I think I'm going to go skiing.
All right, well, just don't break a leg. Stay healthy. So we're here with Penny Annis, and great job tonight. Again, Lady Grizzlies. So we'll be right back with our second interview.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, and we're here with Ava Winterburn, one of the main stars of tonight's game. Again, there's no surprise. Ava Winterburn, you shot 23 tonight, so you're doing a very good job. Talking a little bit with Penny, I felt early in the game, you guys seemed to be pressing a lot. Not many shots were going in. What was happening early in the game? Because it was really kind of tight in the first quarter.
Yeah, we just weren't playing our game. I mean, we were out of rhythm for unknown reasons. Weren't communicating on defense. So once we started to fix those things, fix communicating, started taking better shots, getting over half court from their press and slowing it down and taking good shots, that's when our shots started to fall, and that's when we started to pick up the pace and run it up.
Right, because in the first quarter, I mean, Rob and I were talking a lot about they were getting the shots. You guys were shooting like crazy from everywhere. And some of them were really good shots. They just weren't going in, around the rim and out and whatever. What I was really impressed with the second half is that's where you guys really seem to kick it in. You had those long plays going, and I mean, is that something that you guys work a lot on, that transition game?
Yeah,
with you
of
guys?
course. Yeah, pushing the ball in transition is good for us, especially against a team like this and a team like Central. Pushing the ball is definitely a point of emphasis for sure.
Yeah. And one of the things I was talking about with Rob too is, and I've been watching you now for a while, so seeing a 4-year starter varsity. The thing is, I think I could really start to see it not just with you, but with a lot of you girls now who've been playing together for a while. That sort of maturity now, where really you guys are now the veteran team. You know, we're back in the day with Scott Gross and I. We were talking about this is a young team.
Right.
It's kind of full of rookies, and now that sort of veteran team comes out. I mean, do you feel the difference with this team now?
Of course. Yeah. We've been playing together for 3 or 4 years, most of us, so we definitely have established a rhythm. We know where each other's going to be able to get good assists, good passes, good shots, and yeah, it's been really fun working with everybody. Ava Ruggiero is a great point guard. Maggie's a great shooter, great driving to the rim. Obviously, really fun playing with my sister. And Ava Vaughn's just such a good presence on the court, rebounding and such. So we've really grown with each other. We like to hang out not even on the court, off the court. So we mesh well together, which I think helps on the court.
Yeah, that really makes it a lot smoother. And I felt that, once you girls took control of this game, I mean, there was really, the Blue Devils didn't have much of a chance after that. And this team was a little bit different than Central. I mean, I felt they were a little bigger. They were a little bit more aggressive. And you had to be careful with them. I mean, coming into the game, what did you guys talk about as far as how that was going to work?
We just said that we had to play with the same intensity that we had against Central, and we knew they were a different team. We knew that we couldn't, have the same shots that we did against Central. So we just, again, had to play our game, take control of it, which I don't think we did in the first quarter. But in the rest of the quarters, we definitely took over with our game and, just ran it up and pushed the ball as much as we could.
Yep, that was great. Again, this is Ava Winterburn, the star of the game, the leading point getter for both teams, 23 points, so that's great for her. And, hey, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you back after New Year. So we'll be here.
Thank you.
Good job. And we're signing out. One more interview. Welcome back to the Grizzly Den, people of Goffstown, and I'm here with Ava Ruggiero, one of the 3 stars of tonight's game. Basically had to pick her at one point. I mean, Rob and I are always thinking about interviews a little bit and who we're going to interview for what. Winterburn seems to take over when she gets all the points. I mean, she's hogging all the baskets, so you gotta throw her out here.
You gotta give it to her.
You had to give a lot of credit tonight. I thought Penny played very well tonight.
Yeah,
she did a really good job under the basket. And then, of course, you snuck in, and there was one point in the game where I said, just on that shot alone, Ruggiero's got to be in. It's when you worked your way up in the third quarter under the basket and did a nice little underhand layup and you put it in. So again, a very aggressive outing for you. I mean, what was your sort of thought process coming into this game? Because this is obviously a different team, and I think a much better team, the Blue Devils, than what you faced Tuesday night.
Yeah, coming into this game, I knew the intensity was going to be more intense compared to Central last game, and we just had to work on transition more. I think we did a better job in transition in the second half and using each other. And we rushed our shots in the beginning of the game, and I feel like we brought it down. We played our game. We controlled the game.
Okay, so that was one of the things that Rob and I noticed in the first quarter. We felt that, the girls were all playing well, but I think it almost looked like you guys had too much Red Bull or something, because it was almost like you were almost playing it too fast. And almost like everybody was almost kind of doing too much. And then when you slowed down in the offense, that's when your game really started coming together.
Yeah, I feel like for some reason we felt like we had to rush a shot, like shoot so much and just rush everything because of how we played versus Central and how we were making a lot of our shots in Central and how we were pushing intensity, and we scored a lot more against Central. But in this game, we had to slow it down and take quality shots and not force it.
Right. Now, is that those long bomb passes where you're just squirting out and sort of going the open man? It's almost like, I compare everything to hockey. It's like you were just on these breakaways, and I could see whether it was Maggie or Ava or Meredith, just feeding you as you were breaking out on that. I mean, is that something you work a lot on practice? I mean, are you sort of the squirter or the one that's got to go out, who got to get those long baskets? Is that sort of the play ahead of time?
Well, I feel like it's really rewarding when you're running the court and then you get rewarded with a basket. But we do run drills in practice that are similar to running the floor. Like we have, it's called Kentucky. We have an outlet pass, and then the opposite person on the opposite wing, they run their floor, and then they take the layup and then pass it, and then they run the floor and take the shot.
Yeah.
So I feel like we incorporated that into the game.
Yeah, did a good job with that. And again, you were all over the rebounds again. And this team was a lot different than Central, too, because Central was sort of a small team, where this team that had a lot more size. So this team was a lot bigger, but it didn't seem to slow down on the rebounds. I mean, do you look at it differently? I mean, do you plan ahead, or how do you approach it when you start a game and you're playing against, obviously, a bigger team?
Yeah, playing against a bigger team, like, I just want to get a rebound because I feel like, since I'm the smallest one on the court typically, I feel like it's rewarding to get a rebound over all the taller girls, and it's just fun to work harder than them and hopefully score on the opposite end.
And you did a good job. You did a great job
Thank
with
you.
that. So I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry
Good luck with the
Christmas.
tournament next week.
Thank you.
Again, we're with Ava Ruggiero, one of the stars of the game. Goffstown Grizzly girls, once again, stomped the Salem Blue Devils, so played very well. And, of course, none of us can remember what the final score was, 58 to something,
I have no
26
idea.
or
It
whatever
doesn't
it was.
matter. New
But,
game.
yeah, we beat them. New game. We'll move on. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And we're signing off, so thank you very much. Thanks,
you.
GTV.
It's probably that they just ain't ready. That's why they're going up in smoke. We're giving this all we've got. We're taking